You're thinking about ditching the agency and going solo as a designer. But before you hand in that resignation letter, there's some stuff you need to think about. And I'm not talking about your portfolio. Hey, I'm Mark Decote, and in this video, I'm breaking down everything I wish I'd considered when I started my design business. So, let's get to it. Starting with the things to do before you start your design business. Let me be straight with you. If you're still in school or you're early in your career, don't jump straight into running your own business. Get some experience first. I spent 15 years working at a commercial print shop before going solo, and that time was invaluable. You need people around you. You need feedback. You need to learn how real clients work before you're the one managing them. But let's say you've now got that experience. Now comes the first real decision. Working from home has real perks. It's what I do, and I love it. No commute, flexibility, lower overhead. But here's what nobody tells you. The isolation is real. You are sitting alone for 8 hours a day with no one to interact with. Not everyone can handle that. And the discipline required? You need it. I'm serious about this. My TV is less than 20 feet from my desk. And some days it would be so easy to just give up and turn on Netflix. An office or co-working space solves that problem. It gets you out and interacting with more people, but costs money and separates you from your family life. Now, neither option is wrong. You just need to consider what you're signing up for. Next, figure out what you actually want to do. Are you a generalist designer doing logos, websites, print, whatever comes your way? Or do you want to specialize? Maybe you only do logo design, or package design, or vehicle wraps. Or you could target a niche. Maybe you only design wedding invitations, or you only work with real estate agents. I love the diversity of working on different projects. It keeps things fresh. That's what I do in my original business. But several years ago, I started a second design business that focuses on the podcast industry. Many designers make really good money specializing in just one thing. The key is deciding this before you start and not after. It's way harder to pivot once clients expect certain things from you. Then there's the boring stuff. Are you going to be a sole proprietor, an LLC, or incorporate? Honestly, I started as a sole proprietor, and my accountant told me I could change it at any time. But I never found a reason to. But you should at least talk to an accountant about your options. And here's something people don't think about. How are you going to handle friends and family asking for free work? Because they will. They absolutely will. Now, personally, I offer a 30% discount to friends and extended family. And by extended family, I mean aunts, uncles, cousins, and the whatnot. Now, I don't charge my immediate family. And when I do charge, I tell the people up front, here's my rate and here's your discount. And you know what? Most of them don't even ask for a discount. They're just grateful that you offered. The key is deciding this before anyone asks so that it doesn't become awkward. Because once your business is public, people will come out of the woodwork asking you for things. Next is how much money do you have saved? You need enough to survive while you're building your business and getting clients. I'd say 4 months minimum. More is actually better. Now, I started part-time while still working at the print shop, so I didn't need as much of a cushion. But if you're jumping in full-time, you need a buffer. This is non-negotiable. Finally, before starting your business, you need to decide what will you call yourself. Are you going to use your name or are you going under a brand? Now, I went the branding route. For years, I thought about calling my company Rye Joe Designs. It's a combination of my kids' names, Ryan and Joelle. But I realized that that meant nothing to anyone else but me. So I landed on Marksman Design. It's a play on my own name, Mark, and my love of archery. I always played a ranger in Dungeons & Dragons. I even put a little archer in my logo to make sure people didn't think marksman referred to guns. Working under your own name is simpler legally, but creating a brand gives you credibility and room to grow, potentially allowing you to sell your business down the line. Now, both are great options, and you need to think about which one fits your vision. Okay, so you've decided and now you're ready. Now it's time to actually set up the business. You don't need top-of-the-line machines. I'm running a 4-year-old MacBook Pro right now, and it does everything I need. And most of the Apple devices I've bought over the years were refurbished. You save a lot of money, and they work just as well as new ones. And PCs, they're even less expensive. The bottom line is, all you need to start a design business is a reliable computer and an internet connection. Now, here's something most people miss. You don't, and in most cases, shouldn't have to give clients your home address. I didn't want clients showing up at my door, especially when my wife and my kids were home. So I got a mailbox at my local UPS store. My clients think it's fancy because I have a suite. It's more professional. It protects my privacy, and packages get delivered there instead of my house. So I don't have to worry about porch pirates. Yes, it costs me a few dollars a month, but in my opinion, it's worth it. And if I have to meet a client in person, I either go to their place of business or I meet them at a restaurant or a coffee shop. There is no reason for them to know where I live. The next thing is to figure out what hours you want to work and then stick to them. Mine are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I don't respond to emails or client calls after 5 p.m. or before 9 a.m. or on weekends. Why? Because if you do, clients start thinking you work all hours. The next thing you know, they're sending you rush jobs at 8 p.m. on a Saturday, expecting you to do them that night. Freelancing gives you the freedom to make your own hours, but don't overtax yourself. Set your hours and stick to them. It's your business. You get to set the rules, not your clients. Now let's talk about your phone. And this is critical, and most people get it wrong. If you have a home phone, do not use it for your business. Even if you only have a cell phone, you may want to consider alternatives for your business. Perhaps an eSIM, which allows your mobile phone to have 2 separate numbers, one for personal use and one for business. Or you can get a second number through some sort of service, such as Google Voice. This allows you to ignore business calls outside of working hours. If you use the same phone number for both personal and business calls, you might not know if that call at 9 p.m. is a client or a family member. You'll second guess whether to pick up. I originally set up a second phone number through my phone company for about $5 a month. It rings differently in my house, so I know when it's a client. And after 5 p.m., if it's that distinctive ring, I let it go to voicemail. Problem solved. Okay, now let's talk about your rates. Do not sell yourself short. This is huge. When I left the print shop, I charged the same rate they were billing clients. More than double what my salary actually was. But within 2 years, I almost doubled it again. And I did not lose a single client. Some actually told me it's about time you were charging way too little for what you offer. Remember, you are not getting paid 40 billable hours per week. Part of your time goes to admin, marketing, invoicing, stuff that doesn't get billed. Your rates have to cover everything, those billable hours and those non-billable hours. And whether you charge hourly or per project depends on you and the job. I do both depending on the situation. The point is, don't undervalue yourself. Chances are, whatever amount you're thinking of charging is nowhere near high enough. Now that you know your rates, what are you going to do with the money you're bringing in? I suggest setting up a separate business bank account. Don't run your business through your personal account. Talk to a business specialist at your bank. They know exactly what you need. Next, you should get an accountant or at least a bookkeeper. Meet with them before you even start and make sure you're doing everything right. Ask them about invoicing, bookkeeping, and tracking expenses. Their expertise is invaluable and can actually save you money in the long run. Then get a lawyer to review your contracts. And yes, you want to use a contract. Now you can find templates online or use AI to create one, which can save you a lot of money, but spend a couple of dollars to have a professional look at it. It's worth it. Once you have all of those things in place, it's time to find your suppliers. If you do print work, reach out to local printers. Get to know them. Every printer is different. Some want crop marks on files, some don't. Figure this stuff out early. And if you do web work, find your hosting company. Don't wait until a client asks. And reach out to anyone you may need to help you run your business and get acquainted with them. Do this beforehand. Now, I want to talk about something else that's inevitable. You're going to get asked to do free work. A lot. Can you do this for us? We'll put your name on it. It'll be great exposure for you. Here's my advice. Set your criteria now, before anyone asks. What is your stance on pro bono work? Do you do it? If so, how much? Personally, I set a limit. I do pro bono work for only 2 organizations per calendar year, and that's it. If someone else calls asking for free work, I tell them sorry, but all my charity time is already allocated for the year. I'm happy to work with you, but not for free. Now, why do you do this? Because if you say yes to everyone, you'll spend half your time doing free work or brushing off people asking for free work. Now, people understand when you have boundaries. And you're not closing the door. You're just being realistic about your time. You are running a business after all, and the purpose of a business is to make money. And you can't do that if you're constantly doing pro bono work. Okay, once your business is running, don't think you're done. You need to tell people that you are now available. You need to spread the word about your business. And this doesn't necessarily mean buying ads. You can, but I've never bought an ad for my business and I've made out well. But it does mean getting your name out there, networking, handing out business cards, word of mouth, joining your local chamber of commerce. That alone brought me tons of work. When asked for a recommendation, chamber members always refer other chamber members first. And if you're one of the only designers on their list, it can be a windfall for you. You'll also want to join local groups, local art societies, networking groups, industry groups, whatever gets your name out there. You'd be surprised at how many jobs come from the groups you join. Remember, it's not who you know that'll bring you work, it's who knows you. So get out there, meet people, and let them know about your business. Now it's time to build some partnerships. Don't look at other designers as competition. See them as resources. I know almost every designer in my community. And when I'm too busy or there's a project I'm not interested in, I'll pass work on to them, and they do the same for me. One designer even forwards their phone to me when they're on vacation in case there's an emergency with one of their website clients. You can also farm out work you're not good at. If you're strong in print but weak in web, partner with a web designer. Your client goes through you and you make a little bit of money. Everybody wins. Anyone who's been around for a bit can tell you that this industry changes constantly. I've been in the design space since 1989, and I've had to adopt many new things over the years. To stay relevant in this industry, you must keep learning. Set aside money and time for courses, webinars, books, conferences. If you don't, you will fall behind and fail. And here's one of the most important things I can tell you. And it's something most people don't even think about when starting a business. And that's your health. When you are in an office environment, you're naturally moving around, talking to people, getting up. But when you're at home alone, working in the zone, 8 hours can go by without you leaving your chair. And I'm not exaggerating. On several occasions, my wife has come home from work at the end of the day, and I realized that I never even got up to have lunch. I had been sitting in my chair all day, focused on my work. So set a timer, get up every hour, walk around, look out the window, stretch, find time to exercise. If you're not healthy, your energy tanks, your creativity diminishes, and your business suffers. There's no point burning yourself out, no matter how much you enjoy doing what you're doing. Look, starting a design business is exciting, but going in blind is how people mess up. Statistics say that 70 to 90% of freelancers fail within 5 years. Don't let that be you. Think through these things before you start, not after. And if you're already running a design business, some of this might be old news. But I bet there's something here you hadn't considered. Please drop me a comment and let me know what I missed or what you'd add to this list. Until next time, stay creative.